All right, today's video that I'm going to do is on using Orion's belt for navigation. Orion's constellation, Orion the Hunter, is the constellation that travels, or looks like it travels as the Earth rotates from east to west. You can tell direction, you can know which way is south by using it, and it can also then help you find north. So what we're going to do is a quick overview of how it works. This is an outline and a drawing of Orion's belt, the whole constellation. He's supposed to be the hunter. He's holding his bow out here to this side. Anyone that's not familiar with it, he's got a knife down, or a sword right here in the sheath, and he's holding the sword up here, or holding his hand up, I believe. Next slide. And we have the 3 stars in the center. Now, this is what you're going to be looking for, basically. You're going to look for what looks like almost a hourglass with the 4 stars on the perimeters. But the most important thing is the 3 stars are evenly spaced in the center. And there's the names if you want to know, Mintaka, and they're Greek names. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the other 2 that start with A. But basically, the main thing you want to look for is those 3 stars and then this right here. This is the Orion's Nebula. It's in the center of it, but it actually is, it's supposed to be his sword or his knife sheath, as I call it. That will determine direction. When this is pointing completely straight up and down, you're in the south. That is in the south. So that is actually south direction. So in my video I show you later, I won't be able to show you exactly south because we're not in the winter months yet. And Orion is only visible during the winter months because of, the way our Earth rotates and whatnot. So at this time of season, it's only visible from about 3 o'clock in the morning till about sunrise, and it's gone in the south by the time you wake up and the sun comes up. And we're gonna go to the next photo. Okay, this is again another look at it, and this shows the stars, shows the you see right here the nebula. It's an off color, it's kind of purple, and this shows the hourglass that I was talking about. You're gonna look at these 3 stars. Melissa, this one is quite bright, and it does have a kind of a orangish hue to it when you look at it at night. And then you've got Sapphire in the bottom and Rangel over here. Those make an hourglass figure with the 3 stars in the center, and then this sword, which gives you direction, okay? So we're gonna go to the next photograph. Okay, again, just a quick one on this. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but it's showing basically the hunter and his knife sheath or sword sheath. Next slide again. All right, there is all the constellations together. One thing that helps you find it is Sirius, which is the dog here, or wolf, whatever. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. And you'll notice in my video that I'm going to do at the end of this, when I took it at last night, you'll see this bright star as I end my video on the bottom, low in the horizon. Well, Orion is off to this side. Well, that's an indicator. You can go to that star and then go to your right, and you usually find Orion and the 3 stars and his sheath, which will then give you direction. Next slide. Next slide. Little technical difficulties here. Moving along. Next slide. And I'm getting some help because I don't know how to work. There we go. Okay, here, this is an actual picture. Well, we lost it.
Oh.
Can you go back to the last photo, please? Sorry for technical difficulty. I'm using my wife's computer and she's helping me, and she doesn't know her own computer. Okay. Anyway, this is actual photos. You can see the 3 stars. You can see the sword or knife sheath. Now, it is pointing straight up and down to the horizon. So what you can see, this is horizon. There's some trees. That is actually due south. It is at its highest point in its arc, and that is actually due south. So you see here the star I was telling you is kind of orange color. That's Bellatrix or whatever, Melissa, and then the other 2 stars on the outer skirts of your, I want to say pyramid, but anyway, what am I trying to say? Hourglass. Okay, next photo. Next photo. Okay, here's a look at the sky, and we're going to zoom in on this. There's south directly below. You can see, If you look at it, this is at a distance. This is Sirius again, like I was telling you, the brightest star. You go up here, go to the right, bang, there's the 3 stars. There's the sword sheath. It's straight up and down. There's south. There's your other 4 stars in your hourglass right there. And that's due south. All right, next photo. Quick and easy way to find navigation. Helps you at night. If you get lost, you're in the desert or whatever, you're going to maneuver at night. You're going to, you want to move at night so you don't dehydrate. It's just good to know. They used to navigate by the stars back in the day. Next photo. And so here we go again. Now, what you're looking at here, you see where the sword is pointing this direction, okay? And what you got there is that is actually coming up out of the east. So the sword is pointing that direction. It's pointing more towards the south, basically. And you see that bright orange star that I was telling you about, Bellatrix or whatever here. The other star up here, and the other 4 in the pyramid. But the sword sheath is pointing this direction. As it goes this direction and rotates, the sword sheath will go straight down, and then will come back the opposite direction when it gets to the west. Okay, next photo. There, that's south again. Next photo. See how it's pointing straight up and down? And there you go. That is west. So basically, that's a quick, easy overview. If you see the 3 stars and you find your little hourglass and you just look basically for this is the most important thing, the knife sheath or sword sheath, whatever you want to call it, with the 3 stars, and what direction it's pointing. So pointing that direction, you can tell exactly where you're going by looking at that. Next photo. That was west, that's south. See, give you a couple more shots of it. There's more shots of it. Go ahead and show some more. And that's from further distance. You can see that is also south because they've highlighted the sword sheath pointing straight down. That's another actual photograph, and you see how big in the hourglass, how big the other stars are. All right. And is there any more photos on that? All right, and that one there is south also. It's, well, kind of south. It's almost south. It's more like I would say it's more southeast, but you see it's kind of angled that straight down, but it's a little bit more this direction. So, okay, next photo. And that's it. Okay, so I'll add the last part of the video where I did it. And, why do you want to do this? Why do you need to know this? Well, it's a good navigational tool because once you find south, you can then turn around and find north. And the next video series I will do will be on finding north, which will show you how to use, how to find the North Star, how to find the Big Dipper, and Cassiopeia, which basically rotate counterclockwise around the North Star. And so with knowing these points at night and the stars, you can navigate at night real well, even without having ground terrain features to like mountains or whatever to look in. They used to do this in the seas, at night with the stars. So I'll go ahead and end this here, and I will put my last part of the video on and attach it to this. And thanks for watching. And I will do another video on the North Star in my next video for navigation.
All right. Let's talk about Orion's belt. It's 5:30 in the morning, and because of where we're at here, it'd be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to try to pull this in with the camera and see. You can see Orion's belt. There is 3 stars in the center right there. You can see 1, 2, 3 right through the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 stars there. Okay. Those are Tantaka, and the other 2 start with A's. And basically, if you look, you have this one is I think it's Beatrice or Belgize or whatever is one of the brightest stars in it. When you're looking at it, you want to look at it as an hourglass. So here's your 4 stars on the outer edge, 1 there, 1 up here, and then 3 down the middle. What you're really looking at, mostly what you want to try to see, and you can't hardly see tonight, but where the 3 stars come down if you look very carefully, you can see, let me get my finger in here, you can see this coming off the 3 stars, which is the belt. There is, right in here, is the sheath to the knife. Now, this video on this camera, my phone, is not that good, but that knife sheath basically is how you're going to get direction. And I can't really show you too well on this. I wish I had a better, I'm going to try to find better ones online to show you, but that little sheath that hangs down right there, that is right there, is how you're going to tell direction, okay? Because this whole constellation basically looks like it's going from east to west, so it gives you direction. When that little sheath that hangs down, when it's hanging completely straight up and down, it'll be south, and it'll be at the highest point of its arc, basically when Earth is moving, but it looks as though it's straight up and down. And so that's what you're going to use as your reference point when you're looking at it. And right now, this is in the easterly direction, basically east, almost south. Once that gets to a point where it looks as though the knife sheath is almost straight up and down, you will be able to tell it where south is at. So it gives you basically direction. I'll do a better job of this when I can draw it out on paper for you, and maybe I can find some better pictures. My phone is not the best thing for this. It's not really showing up as well as I'd like it to, but once I draw it on paper, I'll be able to show you a lot better than this, because this is just not showing out as well as it should. It basically show you ways that you can tell at night to navigate, so that you know which way is south, and which, this, like I say, it goes from east to west, and it travels, during the winter months mostly. Well, it's always up there, but you only see it during the winter months, basically. So I'll draw it on paper, and later in the video I'll show you a little bit better, and hopefully get some better pictures online to show you. So anyway, that is Orion's belt right there, and hopefully you guys can see a little bit, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a better view with some better pictures.